What if the phone that promises to save you money actually gives you more of what you truly need? We are diving deep into a surprising showdown today, as Google's latest phones challenge our assumptions about value. For years, we have seen Google's main Pixel line standing proudly, while their A series offered a more budget-friendly option. It all seemed straightforward, did it not? The Pixel 9 is the compact flagship, packing almost everything you find in the Pro, just without the telephoto lens. And then you have the Pixel 9a, the stripped-down, more affordable sibling, built with less premium materials and a slightly different camera setup. On paper, Google suggests a huge €350 saving if you choose the 9a. But hold on, the Pixel 9 has been out longer, and we are already seeing some fantastic deals. The real-world savings often hover closer to €100. So you might think, why not just grab the Pixel 9 then? Well, you might be surprised because the Pixel 9a brings some very compelling arguments to the table. Let us break it down. First up, design and build. The Pixel 9 brings elegance. It is slightly more compact, measuring 152.8 by 72 by 8.5 millimeters, and it weighs 198 grams. The Pixel 9a is a touch lighter at 186 grams, but it is also a bit longer and wider at 154.7 by 73.3 by 8.9 millimeters. You will notice the difference in materials, with the Pixel 9 flaunting a sleek glass back, while the 9a opts for a grippy matte plastic. Now, plastic might not sound as premium, but it is far more resistant to fingerprints and offers a better grip. Here is a subtle win for the 9a. It is the first Pixel in years with a nearly flat back, meaning its camera barely protrudes. No more wobbling on your desk. However, the Pixel 9 has a more elegant, thinner bezel around its display. Both phones do boast IP68 water and dust protection, which is excellent. So, on design it is a draw really. The Pixel 9 is sleeker, but the 9a offers practicality. Moving on to performance and speed, both phones house Google's Tensor G4 chip, alongside the Titan M2 security chip. This means you get all those smart AI features Google is famous for. The Pixel 9 has a generous 12 GB of RAM, while the 9a comes with 8 GB. We found both incredibly snappy, opening apps quickly and responding instantly to our touches. Surprisingly, in many benchmarks, the Pixel 9a squeezed out a few extra points, actually coming out ahead in raw processing power. While neither quite matches the absolute peak performance of the latest iPhones or Samsung's S series, they deliver outstanding daily performance. Another draw here, both are quick and capable. Now let us talk about something everyone cares about, battery life. This is where the Pixel 9a pulls ahead, and not by a small margin. While the Pixel 9 has a respectable 4,700 mAh battery, the 9a packs a more generous 5,100 mAh cell. Our test showed the Pixel 9 logging an impressive 15 hours and 31 minutes of continuous use, which is 50% longer than its predecessor, the Pixel 8. But the Pixel 9a? It delivered a staggering 18 hours and 32 minutes of continuous usage. That is a new benchmark for smartphone endurance. Think about it. A phone that lasts that long means less time tethered to a charger. While the Pixel 9 charges a bit faster at 27 watts compared to the 9a's 23 watts, both still take a leisurely hour and a half to 2 hours for a full charge. The Pixel 9a takes the point here, absolutely crushing it in battery life. Displays are next, and here is a bit of a stalemate. Both phones feature gorgeous 6.3-inch OLED displays with up to a 120 Hz refresh rate. And they share the exact same 2424 by 1080 pixel resolution. You will experience rich colors and deep blacks on both. The Pixel 9 is marginally brighter in our tests, but the difference is so small, you would be hard-pressed to notice it in everyday use. So we're calling this one a tie. Finally, the cameras. Google Pixels always impress with their photography, and these are no exception. The 9a, as the first A model, even gets a macro mode. Neither the 9 nor the 9a have a dedicated telephoto lens, relying on digital zoom. The Pixel 9 has a larger main camera sensor, which typically means better light capture and detail. In daylight, the Pixel 9a's main camera actually scored marginally better in our lab tests, but in low light, the Pixel 9 pulled ahead. For zoom, where both rely on software, the Pixel 9 clearly delivers sharper 4x and 8x zoom shots. The Pixel 9 also boasts a laser autofocus sensor, which the 9a lacks. And for selfies, the Pixel 9 captures noticeably better photos. So while the 9a holds its own in standard and ultra-wide shots, the Pixel 9 takes the lead in zoomed photos and selfies. This point goes to the Pixel 9. Looking at storage, both the Pixel 9 and 9a come with 128 or 256 gigabytes, and neither offers expandable storage. This is a shared limitation, so another draw. For biometrics, both have reliable in-display fingerprint sensors and secure facial recognition, even for banking apps. Another tie. And updates? Google promises an incredible 7 years of both operating system and security updates for both models. The 9a theoretically gets Android 22 in 2032, while the 9 gets Android 21 in 2031, a minuscule difference. We still rate this a tie, as 7 years is phenomenal for either. The last battleground, AI features. While both use the Tensor G4, the Pixel 9's larger 12 GB of RAM means it can handle some local AI functions a bit more smoothly than the 9a with its 8 GB. However, most of Google's celebrated AI features, like live translation, summarization, or the Magic Editor for photos, operate in the cloud. They perform identically on both phones, and honestly, Google's Magic Eraser is still miles ahead of what Apple or Samsung offer. The Pixel 9 gets a slight edge here due to that extra RAM for future local AI capabilities. So how does it all shake out? The Pixel 9 edges out the 9a, but it is incredibly close. The Pixel 9 is your choice if you prioritize that premium glass feel, a more elegant design with thinner display bezels, and consistently better camera performance, especially for zoom shots and selfies. It is also slightly better equipped for the very cutting edge of local AI processing. But if you are on a tighter budget, prefer a more grippy matte finish, and absolutely demand the best battery life on the market, then the Google Pixel 9a is a phenomenal choice. It delivers nearly full pixel power, takes excellent photos, and will keep going for hours on end, all without that pesky camera bump. Ultimately, which one wins depends on your personal priorities. Do you value the absolute longest battery life and a more rugged feel, or a slightly more refined camera and design? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the latest tech.